Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to learn about some more important topics on data link layer and what are all the functions of data link layer and duties of data link layer, right? Okay, so this is the most important topic under third units, that is error detection and corrections. Okay, so let us begin. So some of the duties of data link layer are packetizing, then addressing, then error control, flow control, and access control. So of course, here data link layer is also responsible for error control and flow control. So as we have discussed in 7-layer OSI model, so this is the second layer under OSI layer model, that is Open System Interconnection 7-layer model. So this layer is responsible for packetizing, then addressing, defining the address for individual systems, then error control, how the packet has been uh, arrived at destination systems, and how the data has to be controlled from one device to another device. Okay, so these are all the duties of data link layer. So this physical layer is the lowest layer, that is the first layer. Okay, for which will convert the packets and frames into bits, that is binary information, that is zeros and ones. So here the network layer is responsible for defining the addresses, then conversion of packets, frames. Okay, so and this data link layer, that is the second layer. This second layer is the data link layer. This layer is responsible for packetizing, flow control, media control, addressing, error control. So now we are going to discuss about this data link layer alone. Okay, so first concept we will see about how error has been discovered and how those error has been recovered. Okay, right. So first method we will see about error detection and corrections. Okay, there are three types of error detection and correction methods. Okay, so first we will discuss about types of error detection and corrections. So three topics we are going to discuss. Okay, so types of error is nothing but a single bit error and burst error and detections, and finally we will see about how those error have been corrected. So in types of error, we will see about two types. One is single bit error, another one is burst error. Okay. So detection, in error detection method, we will see about four detection method. That is LRC, that is longitudinal redundancy check, then vertical redundancy check, then cyclic redundancy check, that is CRC, and finally fourth one is checksum. Okay. These four method is used to detect the errors from one machine to another machine while data transmissions. Okay, so then next we will see about finally error corrections, how those error are going to be corrected, right? Okay, so first we will discuss about error detection and correction methods. So as we know that data can be corrupted during transmission. For reliable communication, error must be detected and corrected. So while we are downloading files or while we are uploading files, there may be a chances of getting errors, or when we are sending mails from one machine to another machine, we don't know the remote host, as we have a lots of millions of communications are existing. So there may be a chance of getting errors or maybe data loss. During transmissions, for reliable communications, we have to detect the errors as well as we have to correct those errors, right? So error detection and correction are implemented either in data link layer or the transport layer of OSI model. Let us see how those errors are going to be detected and corrected, right? Okay, so first we will discuss about the types of errors. Okay, first that is single bit error, another one is burst error, right? So first we will see about what is single bit error. Okay, when we are transmitting data, so let us assume that we are sending the 8-bit binary informations. Okay, so why this is the sender and this one is the receiver. While we are transferring data from one system to another system, during transmission the single bit alone is going to be converted into one. This method we are saying as a single bit error, that is only one bit is going to be changed. Sorry, this one. Okay, only one bit is going to be changed from 0 to 1. Okay, this method we are calling as a single bit error when we are transmitting data from one machine to another machine. This one is the sender and this one is the receiver. If you see, a sender has the 8-bit information. So here we are transmitting 0, but receiver receiving will receive, instead of 0 it receives 1. Okay, so due to some noise or due to some electromagnetic interferences, right? So next method is multiple bit error. In this method, again we are transmitting 8-bit informations. Two or more consecutive bits have been changed from sender to receivers. Okay, while receiving side, the consecutive bits, instead of 1 it receives 0, instead of 0 it receives 1. Two or more consecutive bits have been changed. This method we are calling as a multiple bit error, right? Okay. Now we will see what is burst error. Okay, so in burst error, more than two or more bits, okay, so have been changed. So I have 4, 48, 12, 16-bit informations. Okay, 16-bit information is going to be sent, and on the receiving side, 5-bit is going to be discarded. How we are going to calculate those bits? If you see, that is the starting bit position, that is from the sender. This one is starting position and this one is end positions. That means only three consecutive bits have been changed, but here we are going to discard the 5 bits, that is from the starting bit and the last end bit. Okay, so for example, if let us assume, if this bit, second bit, that is the first bit, second bit and the last bit, if this bit has been changed, so we are going to discard at the 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 bits. So till this section we are going to be discarded. Okay, this method we are seeing as a burst error. Actually 3 bits alone we have been changed. Okay, 3 bits alone has changed, but uh, due to some more number of bits, have more number of bits has changed from sender to receiver, so we are going to discard it from this position to this position, or from this position to this position. But here 3 bits alone change. Instead of 0 it receives 1, instead of 0 it receives 1, instead of 0 it receives 1. Only 3 consecutive bits have been changed, but we are telling the sender to resend those 5 bits. Okay, from 1 2 3 4 5, 5 consecutive bits has to be resent from the sender, right? Okay, so and finally we will detect those errors. Okay, by using the concept of redundancy. Redundancy means retransmitting the original bits. Okay, so or maybe adding some extra bits for detection, error detection methods. Okay, right. So here how we are going to use the concept of redundancy. Okay, here actually we are sending the data. This is the actual data. We are adding the data redundancy medium. Okay, so along with your original data, so this one is the original data, along with we are adding some more bits for error detection. Okay, this method we are saying as a data redundancy based upon your actual data. Okay, if the consecutive bits, if the consecutive bits is same from the sender, it means data has no error, it will accept the original data. If the consecutive bits has been changed, therefore the original data has also been changed, so the data will be rejected. Okay, the sender will ask to resend those data. This one is the medium, that is the physical medium, that is the cable. Okay, right. Let us see how this redundancy and are adding these bits. Okay, we will see. So error detection methods has parity check, cyclic redundancy check and checksum. Okay, let us see these detection methods, how these detections are added along with redundancy. Okay, right. So first we will see about parity check. So a parity is nothing but a odd and even method. Okay, a parity bit is added to every data unit so that the total number of ones including the parity bit becomes even for even parity check or odd for odd parity check. Let us see an example. So this one I have actual data. So we are going to count the number of ones, that is odd number. Zero is even number. Okay, so we have to count the odd number, that is done only we are going to count the ones. So in our actual data we have three ones, that is 1, 2 and 3. So it will calculate the number of parity bits. So since we have 3 bits, that is 3 ones are there, so we are going to add another as 1. Okay, so therefore it becomes even parity. 1, 2, 3. If we adding 1 again, 4. If you see here, we will add as 4 parity. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now what is 4? 4 is nothing but a even parity, even number. Okay, so this will transfer from the sender. Okay, on the receiving side it will check the number of parity, even or odd parity. So if I have 1, 2, 3, 4, that means even number, the data will be accepted. If the values change, instead of from 0 to 1, if I change the value from 0 to 1, 1 or 2, 3, here 3, 4, 5, the value of the original bit is changed. So therefore the automatically the receiver will reject the those data, right? I hope you understand, students. Again I'm telling you, again I'm repeating the topic. So actually I have this data alone. Okay, we have to count the number of ones. So a program is designed to count the number of even parity. Okay, if the value of your the sender is 1, okay, number of ones 1, 2, 3. So what is 3? 3 is a odd number. Okay, so we have to add another 1 to change this odd parity to even parity. For this reason we are adding as 1. Now we count the number of ones: 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the whole data is become as a even parity. Along with your original data, this one is also be transmitted. On the receiving side it counts the number of bits, therefore it should be a even number. Okay, so therefore that means 1, 2, 3, 4. If the parity bit is 4, what is 4? 4 is a even number, data will be accepted, therefore no error on the original data. Okay, so if the bit is changed, for example if I change the value from 0 to 1 here. Okay, so on the receiving side it will count the number of ones: 1, 2, 3. I have changed from 0 to 1, 3, 4, 5. What is 5? 5 is a odd number, therefore the original data will be discarded and ask the sender to resend the original data, right? So this is the first method to detect the error, right? Next, here I have another example of error detection method. So this one is the 5 character coded. So I'm going to send the original data. Okay, so original data. So if you count the number of ones, so see here, this one is original data: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we are sending the 5 characters as coded ASCII characters. Okay, so now I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 is what? It is a even parity, so that's why I'm going to add as a 0. Okay, so here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here also a 6. 6 is a parity even number, so I'm going to add 0. So if I check here, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is also a even parity, so I added 0. Here also a even parity, so I added 0. If you check here, 1, 2, 3. 3 is the odd number, so I added 1 for your transmissions. Okay, hope you understand, students, by seeing this video. Okay, right, here I have another example. Okay, on the receiving side, okay, it counts the number of ones. 1 2 3 4 5 6. 6 is what? It is a even parity, so data will accepted. Here also 1 2 3 4 5 6. 6 is what? Again even parity, it will accept. 1 2 3 4. 4 is also a even parity, it will accept. 1 2 3 4. 4 is also a even parity, accept. So if you check here, 1 2 3 4. 4 is also a data accepted. Okay, if I change the bit, okay, if for example if I change the bit from 0 to 1, so see here, now suppose the word in example 1 is corrupted during transmissions. Okay, so if the word is corrupted, instead of 0, I'm going to change this as 1. Instead of 0, I'm going to change this as 1. Okay, if I change this 1 on the receiving side, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, therefore this packet alone will be discarded. So here I have not received the actual data, so since it is a odd parity 7. Okay, here 1 2 3 4 5 6. 6 is accepted. Here again my data is going to be corrupted. Okay, 5 corrupted, rejected, reject this data, accepted. Okay, so this is the basic method to uh, detect the errors. Okay, so the next we will move to parity check, that is two-dimensional parity check. Okay, or we are saying as a longitudinal redundancy check. Okay, so here I have a original data, so this one is the original data. Okay, for transmissions, this one is a row parity and this one is a column parity. Okay, so this one is original data. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to um, sort the number. So initially first I'm going to write the all numbers, that is 1 1 0 0 1 1 1 and 1 0 1 1 1 0 1 0 1 1 1 0 0 1 0 1 0 1 0 0 1. Okay, so here I have to count the number of row parity. So if I check here, 1 2 3 4 5, so I have 5 numbers, that is 5 ones. So this one is a odd number, so I have to add 1. If I check here, 1 2 3 4 5, again 5 is a odd number, I'm going to add as 1 to become the row as a even parity. Okay, so now here 1 2 3 4. 4 is what? 4 is a even number, so I am adding 0. So if I check here, 1 2 3, 3 is also a odd number, so I'm going to add as a 1 for row parity. Similarly, I have to calculate for column number. Okay, so column number, how we are going to calculate? So if I check, 4 ones are there, so I'm going to 0. What is 4 1? 4 1 is 4, so therefore it becomes 0. 1 is 1. Okay, since 1 is what? Odd number, so it should be an even number, so I am going to define as 1. 1 plus 1 2, so therefore 2 is even number, 0. 3 odd number, 1 2 0 3 1 2 0. Okay, so this one is my column parity. Okay, this one is my column parity. If I check 1 2 3, so 3 is a odd number, so I have to add for 1 for to become this column parity to even parity. For all these 4 numbers, I have to add the column parity along with your original data bits. So this one is original data, so I'm going to add along with column parity. Okay, hope you understand, students, right? Okay, so suppose the following block is send. Okay, here I have the data, actual data. So due to some noise or burst, the original data is going to be corrupted. Okay, if you check, instead of 1 I receive 0, instead of 0 I receive 1, that is more number of bit has been changed. Okay, when the receiver check the parity, some of the bits do not follow the even parity rule and whole block is discarded. So if the actual data is going to be corrupted. Okay, So along with your original data. So this one is original data. Okay, this one is original data, but instead of I'm receiving original data, I have received the following even parity rule. Okay, so if I added, my original data is going to be changed along with even parity. Okay, so for that reason, we move for new concept called CRC, cyclic redundancy check. So CRC is a cyclic redundancy check method. So what we are going to do, we are going to use a division method for your actual data. Okay, so divisor reminder. If the reminder is 0, data will be accepted. If the reminder is 1, data will be discarded. Let us see how the sender and receiver will check using the CRC code. Okay, so assume that we have a data that is 100 100. Okay, 100 is a my data, actual data. Based upon your actual data, a divisor is going to be generated. Okay, this divisor will be automatically generated using CRC generator. Okay, this this is my actual data, but using my CRC generator, it is automatically generated by my divisor. Okay, so initially what I'm going to do, so initially first I'm going to divide using my divisor. Okay, 1101, first 1, so 1101. Now divide. Okay, so 1 plus 1 is 0, 0, that means 1 plus 1 is 0, that is 0, no carry, 0, 1, 0. 0 means here discarded. Okay, the next value I'm going to be drop out. Okay, here 0, so therefore 1 0 0 0. So again I'm going to calculate 1 1, so 1101. Okay, okay, 1101. So yeah, okay, so then next 0 1 1 0 1 0 0 will be discarded. The next value I'm going to be drop out 0 1 0 1 0. Of course the value is higher, so again 1101 1 1101. So then my value is 1110. Okay, if you check here 111, this one becomes 0 0 0 will be discarded, and finally we have to add 3 bits. How these bits is going to be added? Okay, so based upon my divisor, okay, based upon my divisor, how many values I have? 1 1 1 1, that is 4 values I have, 4 values of divisor I have. So for that I have to add 3 zeros. If I have 5 number of divisor, I have to add 4 zeros. If my divisor is 7, I have to add 6 zeros. If my divisor is 3, I have to add 2 zeros. Okay, hope you understand, students. Now our basic divisor method. Okay, so 1101 this will become 0. So again 1 1101 divided, so 1, this become 1, this become also 1, this become 0, and finally this 0. Okay, so 0. Okay, 0. Here my value is 0 starting. In this position I have a 0. Okay, this 1 1 becomes 0, will be discarded, but the initial value I have 0. Therefore automatically what I'm going to do, I'm going to add 4 zeros. Okay, 4 zeros. So again here also I am mentioning zeros, 0 1 1 0. So then 1 1 1 0 1. So 1 0 0. So all zeros I have been calculated. Okay, so my reminder is 001. Now I have to check this 001 on receiving side. Okay, so how I'm going to calculate? Again I'm going to use this divisor using the same data. Instead of these 30, I'm going to add this 001 on the receiving side. Let us see. Okay, so I'm using the same divisor. Instead of 30, I am receiving the CRC what I received from the sender, that is 001. Okay, this one is your actual data. Again calculations, 1 1 1 0 1, so divided 0 0 1. So I'm going to drop out this 0. So again 1, quotient is 1 1 1 0 1 divided, so therefore this becomes 1 0 1. The next value I'm going to drop out. So now again 1 1 1 0 1 divided 1 1 1, this 0, the final 0 will be discarded, but the value is here 1. Again I'm going to drop out 0. Now 1 1 1 0 1 divided 1 1 0 0. So last 0 is discarded, but here the value is 0. So therefore I'm going to add it as 0 as a quotient and mention all the here 0 0 0 0. Again 0 1 1 0 0 will be discarded. The value is 1. So 1 for last 1. So 1 1 0 1. The result will be 0. Therefore my data is accepted. Okay, right. So how this will be right in polynomial? Okay, so x power 7 plus x power 5 plus x square plus x plus 1. So we have to generator, that is cyclic redundancy generator, is most often represented not as a string of ones and zeros but as an algebraic polynomial. So we cannot write this value as zeros and ones. Instead we have to write in polynomial equations. How we are going to write? So this x power 7 plus x power 5 plus x square plus x plus 1. So we have to write as x power 7 is, therefore we need a 8 values. Okay, so we need a 8 values, that is 8 binary informations. Okay, so if the value of 1 is will become 1 and x also become 1, then x square is also become 1. X power 3, there is no x power 3 here, therefore the value is become 0. X power 4 is also not there, so that also becomes 0. X power 5 is there, so this become 1. X power 6 is not there, it becomes 0. X power 7 is there. Sorry friends, x power 7 is there, this become 1. Okay, in this way you have to write the polynomial equations. If the value of x power 9 is there, for example, if the value of x power 9 plus x power 5 x square plus x plus 1, if the value, the polynomial equation has x power 9, so the value will be 10 binary numbers. Okay, uh, for then x power 6 also 0, x power 7 is also 0, x power 8 is also 0, x power 9 will become 1. Okay, in this way you have to write the polynomial representing divisor, right? Okay, now we will see about the how error detections will made. Okay, how those error is going to be detection. Okay, used by higher level protocols, it is based on the concept of redundancy, that is VRC, LRC and CRC. Okay, so here we are sending the n number of bits which should be the sender, which should be 0, the result will be the 0. So if I send 10 here, the result is also be a minus 10, therefore the result should be the 0. If I send 0, sorry, if I send 5, on the receiving side it should be a minus 5, therefore the result should be 0. Okay, let us see how this checksum generator works. Okay, so to create the checksum, the sender does the following. The unit is divided into k sections, each of n bit. Section 1 and 2 are added together using one's complement. Section 3 is added to the result of the previous term. Section 4 is added to the result of the previous term. This process repeats until section k is added to the result of the previous term. The final result is complemented to make the checksum 0. By reading this theory, I hope you can't understand. We will see it directly to our examples. Okay, so both from the sender, I already told you, the sender and receiver should be 0. If the sender is send minus t, the receiver will make as a t, therefore the result is should be 0. Okay, otherwise the data will be discarded. Okay, I will show you. So let us see an example. my original data is 10, that is 8-bit original data. 8-bit is 16-bit. I have my original data, that is 10101001 00111 is my actual original data. So I'm going to add this original data, okay, by adding as ones complement. Okay, so first my original data is 10101001 and second data is 001110001. Okay, so 1 will become 0 and complement as 1, so it become 1. This 0 becomes 0. Again 1 plus 1 is 0 and going to made as complement 1. So 1 is there, 1. Okay, and complement as 1, and this will become as 1. Okay, right students, see here again, 1 plus 1 0. Okay, is complement 1, directly 1, 0 will become 0, 1 plus 1 become 0. Okay, again complement 1, 1 plus 1 becomes 0, again complement 1. We have 3 ones are there now, so it becomes 1, here also 1. Okay, so directly 1. Okay, and single only one is there, 1. The sum is 1110010. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this as ones complement. Simply what we have to do, what are all the 0 presents, we have to inverse the value. If I have a 0, it should become 1, 1 0 0. So inversing the values. Okay, so again I'm telling again I'm repeating the same topic. So here my original data, that is 10101001 001110001. Okay, so initially I'm going to add this data 10101001 So if I add 0 1 0 0 0 1 1 1, 1 plus 1 becomes 0, complement 1, this 1, here 0 0 is there, so 0, 1 plus 1 0, complement is 1, 1 1 0, complement 1, 3 ones are there, now 1. Okay, so here complement is 1, so 1. Okay, this one is single is 1. My sum is 111000010. Okay, so to use this sum as one's complement, simply inverse the value of sum. Okay, therefore 1 becomes 0, 1 becomes 0, 1 becomes 0, 0 become 1, 0 become 1, 0 become 1, 1 becomes 0, 0 become 1. So here is my checksum. This checksum is going to be added along with your original data. Here's my original data and here's my checksum. Okay, this will transfer from sender side, right? On the receiving side, the receiver data, on the receiving side, the receiving data, this one is my original data, this one is my original data, and this one is my checksum. Now I'm going to add. Okay, so 3 1 is there. What is my checksum? 3 1 is there, so 1 complement become 1, so 1, here only 1 is there, 1. Okay, here I have 3 ones are there, 1 and becomes complement 1, 1 2 3, 3 ones are there, 1, so again complements 1, here also 1, and finally only 1 is there, become 1. The my sum is all ones are there, so this becomes this should be transfer from sum to uh, ones complement. Okay, to convert from sum to convert one's complement, simply inverse the sum values. Okay, simply inverse the sum value. So therefore 1 becomes 0, 1 becomes 0, all 1 becomes 0 to convert the complement value. This how this checksum will work. Okay, Hope you understand, students. If you have any doubt, call me. I will explain you once again. Don't simply sit. If you can't understand, comments on my YouTube or simply WhatsApp my number. Thank you, students.